Hey everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And this guy over here is drawing a grocery list.
And it's got scoops.
Scott
Scoops on the
Scoops.
menu.
Little
I'm
Scoops.
writing
Little.
down scoops.
Hi, my name is Scoops, and I'm here to share some Star Wars news with you.
I love it.
Welcome to Scoops. Put on your little Dave Filoni hats and let's make some Star Wars together. What do you say?
It's a Filoni bonnet. I don't know if you're aware. That's the official term. I wear a little bonnet.
Little bonnet today. Yeah. Yeah, today I woke up and I was like, oh, it's Kurt Cobain Death Day. Good times.
Oh, shit, is it?
It is.
That's well, Rex Manning Day?
Rex Manning Day?
I was like, today's Rex Manning Day for me. So, like,
Rex Manning. Well, he didn't really die today, but today's the day of '94 when they found his body, and everyone was like, "Oh, I wasn't joking, huh? That sucks. This mental health stuff."
I know where I was at because at that time I was in the I would go to the art class during lunch because we could watch anime in there and shit. Like, so like we'd all bring our collective collections and. So I was checking out the Street Fighter anime or something like that. Maybe in Fatal Fury, I can't remember. But this dude who was just like, he just came in and he was like, dude, Kurt Cobain, he's dead. And I was just like, what? Like, I didn't know that was a big deal. I didn't know he what? And he was like broken down. I was like, what? Because the OJ shit was going down at the time and everything else.
No, OJ wasn't OJ 95?
95. Something was on.
Yeah, it was before,
some fucking shit was on TV that news was going on.
Timothy McVeigh was probably blowing some shit up.
Something was going on. But anyway, I just remember the look of like fear on that dude's face or dread or whatever it was. Yeah. Felt bad for him.
Well, I had like the hair metal uncle. Everybody, I don't know if everybody had a hair metal uncle, but I had a hair metal uncle. And just we didn't see eye to eye on things. Obviously, there was that cultural shift that had happened. But we painted houses together. That was I was 14, and that was like my little side gig. At that time was painting houses. And a few weeks before, Kurt Cobain tried to kill himself in Rome, and he rubbed that in. But he lived, and I was like, there you go. He didn't die. So when he died, we got home from painting that day, he calls me and he's like, Kurt Cobain's dead. And I was like, fuck you. I hung up the phone on him. Just thought he was messing with me, but he was really dead. Yeah. Oh, and then I remember going to school on that Monday, and then all of the kids who never liked anything having to do with Nirvana or music were all like crying and shit. I was like, oh, fuck all these people. We just left.
I didn't cry. I didn't know.
No, I didn't cry.
I knew Smells Like Teen Spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I would play when I'd play Street Fighter Championship Edition. I'll say this, though. If your musical hero dies, your best bet to make sure they're never forgotten is to direct a Batman film and then tie their music to that film.
Hey!
For all time, no one will forget Nirvana now. And Courtney will get a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, he married her, so I have to accept that as his will. But I mean, it kind of plays into a little bit, ironically, what we're talking about today, and it's about Qui-Gon Jinn, which sounds like a drink, but it's not. It's
and how he broke up the Jedi Order like Yoko and Courtney did.
Well, all my musical heroes have always died. They just have. I was a little kid. I really liked the Beatles, and I'm like, oh, John Lennon's dead. Oh, and then Freddie Mercury died. So it's just like, oh, okay, like this is what you do in rock and roll. No, well, no, not a musical hero of mine, but
what?
Scott Weiland. I think weren't we like fucking 39 or something when he died? Anyways,
they're all dying.
Yeah, but I mean, it is still important though. I mean, it does say something. I mean, obviously in those instances there was drug abuse was a factor, but you combine a little bit of drug abuse with poor mental health, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Or presidency, depending on,
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends.
All right. So before everybody gets mad at us, here's the article I just published on the Making Star Wars.
Impatient.
I know.
Impatient.
I know they do. All right. So here we go. What does Qui-Gon have to say in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and a charity stream for mental health awareness? It's all connected, and honestly, this is a bunch of coincidence that all comes together. All of this stuff is kind of amazing because we're living in a simulation. But somebody's like, hey, you sound like you are not stable, bud. Anyways, very recently I met with some crew members of Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Mandalorian 3, and the upcoming Ahsoka series. We got to talking about RPGs and a charity event I will be helping out with. There is a subtext to Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi that really ties into ideas of hope during our darkest times and how important that is for us as individuals. I highly recommend everybody read the previous article that I linked to, just to inform this article if you didn't. But I'm not going to go back and reiterate it necessarily, but we can in the chat if you guys need to. Anyways, in this conversation, I was able to ascertain if Qui-Gon Jinn has any lines as a blue ghost in Chapter 6 of Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and what those lines happen to convey. It was revealed recently, not to link to the old article, that Qui-Gon would return. However, we weren't sure if he would speak at the end of the series to Obi-Wan as a ghost we could actually see. Qui-Gon in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. So here's the meat. That was just the crust. Now we're
as soon as we do a sponsorship for Manscaped, we'll be right back.
Yeah, right. Do you need to shave your taint? All right. So, anyways,
hold on.
Yeah,
I think I do.
Do you have little pieces of Chewbacca in your taint? Manscaped. They don't give us anything.
Looks like a porg down there. It's not good.
I unlocked the porg in Lego Star Wars last night. It cost me 200,000 little bricks, but I did it. Anyways, Qui-Gon in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn first appears to Obi-Wan as a voice during the lightsaber duel with Darth Vader. This voice coaches and inspires Kenobi to prevail during that battle. But this is just the voice of Qui-Gon. We don't see him, we hear him. In Chapter 6, after all is said and done, the blue ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn does manifest for Kenobi. As Qui-Gon appears in front of Kenobi, Obi-Wan looks on in amazement, hardly able to believe his own eyes. Qui-Gon Jinn smiles at Kenobi and asks, what took him so long? Or what took you so long? Qui-Gon then says he's been there with him the entire time. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. But because if in case you didn't read the previous article, Obi-Wan gets really depressed, loses his mojo, and during that, he can't see that he can't do that training that he was sent there to do in Revenge of the Sith. So how cool is that? It's a good message. Obi-Wan's depression made him feel isolated and alone, but he really wasn't. Kenobi just couldn't see that after all they went through in the aftermath of the Clone Wars. And then this is where I plug the mental health stream via Polyhedral Paradise on April 15th. That's like 1 week from today. And and I say maybe we can help our own Obi-Wan. So basically, I'll just plug this real quick. Take this. For the second year in a row, Polyhedral Paradise and friends will get together for a 24-hour live stream to battle for awareness of mental health. Organizer Jason Presson has let me know he's giving away a crap ton of prizes. That's what he said. He literally said crap ton, and I'm like, you know what? I'm using that. Like what, you ask? A talking Celebration 3 Vader from Revenge of the Sith. And yes, it is pristine in the box. So if
Meg's gonna flip out.
I'm gonna open it. If I win, I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna talk to me. I'm gonna tear it open like a savage.
What are you doing? It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in the box. Jason will also be replaying the interview he did with Red Notice director Rawson Thurber, and he will be ending the stream with Glenn Welch from Welcome to Mustara, and there will be a surprise grand prize if we hit our stretch goal of $1,000. I think we can do it. 1,000.
Is Red Notice that movie with Ryan Reynolds and?
I honestly don't know. I think that's maybe that's when you're becoming a woman. I don't know. You tell me. And then about take this, and then so the money goes to take this. The link to the fundraiser goes. I put a link in the description of this video. It goes directly to like the charitable thing, so like the money doesn't come to us or anything like that. So take this sadly. as a yeah, because might need to buy a boat or something, like a little toy boat.
There's a lot of oligarch yachts up for sale, Jason.
the oligarchs need the money.
The market's flooding with yachts. They lost them, and it's us to scoop them up.
Yeah, I had a fantasy. I won that big yacht, and then I was like, how do I pay to put gas in this thing?
Yeah. And that guy who won the Batmobile was like, don't do it. Mm-hmm. It's a trap.
It was a total Batmobile. Look up the video, guys, on the guy who won the Batmobile in '89. Oh, it was a disaster.
I thought it would be my dream, and it turned out to be a nightmare.
It was bad. Anyways, take this as a mental health advocacy organization. What they focus on the game industry and community. We provide resources, training, and support for individuals and companies to help the gaming community improve its mental well-being and resilience. The organization addresses the underlying conditions that can create and perpetuate mental health challenges, stigma, harmful studio culture, harassment and toxicity, lack of diversity and accessibility, and problematic game and community design. So, yeah. So it sounds like
the developers of the Star Wars Lego game should hit them up too.
Yeah. Max. I've always been with you.
And also with you.
I was here the whole time. You were here the whole time. I don't remember how.
I was just
How you doing, Max?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I saw. Go ahead.
I got the porgs out of the porgs are out of your internet today. I think it's going to work.
Good, thank you.
Porgs chewing the wires.
Yeah, I was testing everything today, so
nice.
Should be fine.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I saw Moon Knight last night.
Oh, you watched the old Moon Knight?
Yeah, the first and the second one.
What'd you think?
It was really good. I forgot the part about the glass in the beginning, and it. Oh my god! I started screaming, but then I remembered. Rob had
said, I tried to tell you
about that.
I tried to
old glass shoes, Spreezy.
Everyone thought I was goofing until you saw it. You were like, "Oh, ah!"
No, I screamed. I actually couldn't watch it. I looked away.
Yeah. So we just put the article out, and at the end of Kenobi, Kenobi's been going through a lot. He's been depressed. He's been down. His buddy betrayed him. Padme, the hottest person he's ever met in his life, died, and she was pregnant with another man's baby. He has a lot of reason to be sad.
No.
And
the only thing that can make it worse is if he had to eat Jack in a Box.
Hey,
wow,
be nice.
Yeah,
be nice today, Rob.
Yeah, what is that, Rob?
Well, I'm not making fun of you. I'm thinking about my horrific future. They better release a trailer soon.
Yeah. So, anyways,
what does it say there? Like, I haven't had a chance to read the article. By the way, can you just send me like a WhatsApp message? Because I don't get notifications on Twitter. It's pissing me off.
Oh yeah. I'll after the show, I'll WhatsApp the hell out of you.
Appreciate that.
Send you some PP pics, whatever you need. Yeah. No. What do you call it? Yeah. So basically, like the gist of the article is, as we've been talking about, Qui-Gon, he appears to Obi-Wan Kenobi as a voice first during the duel. And the analogy I made, the one I came up with that it, isn't in the movie or the show, but is that it's like Mickey and Rocky, or that one guy who's like, stick and move, little Mac, join the Nintendo Fun Club. He gives them tips just like that. And
does he not look exactly like the dude from The Office?
It does kind of look. Right? He would be a great version. Yeah, they should cast him.
Training Little Mac.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done a Punch-Out movie yet. In a weird way, it seems like something that could happen. But it would be fun to see King Hippo in live action, wouldn't it? But anyways, so Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's been down over the course of the story. He sees little Princess Leia running around doing karate kicks with the robot in her pocket, doing crazy shit. And he's like, you know what? I'm happy again. I haven't been living in a cave for a couple of days. I remember all my friends died. I don't know where Jar Jar is. I don't even fucking know. That's what Obi-Wan has. I don't know if he says that, but that's what he has to be saying. He's like, where the fuck's Jar Jar? You know? Yeah. And then he, but he's super, he's been down. And then he starts to see that like the partisans are standing up to Darth Vader. They're standing up to the Sith and to Palpatine's reign. He sees he's not alone in the fight. And while things haven't gone swimmingly for him, he starts to see reason to like live. And I'm not trying to say that he was ever gonna like, off himself, Kurt Cobain style. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying he was gonna quit. He's like nothing like that. Just it's not good though. It's been bad. You see that picture from the EW article of him like laying on the cave floor. Doesn't look like he's having a good time. Doesn't look comfortable. And so anyways, but during the fight, as his spirit, as he has something to, as he gets his mojo back during the fight, Qui-Gon appears in his ear. And that's where he starts telling him, what he, helping him out, coaching him. And he's like, wow. So then, but basically a bunch of stuff happens I will not talk about today. And at the end of the story, Obi-Wan back on Tatooine, and he's like, wow, I'm home. And then the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn appears. And Obi-Wan's like, what? I'm seeing a ghost right now. That's literally what he's seeing is a ghost. And he's like, he can't believe it. It's amazing. The ghost is right in front of him. And then Qui-Gon says, what took you so long? And then he tells him, I've been with you the entire time. So, yeah.
It's meant to play out like a real heartwarming moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you, and I'm paraphrasing, you know what I mean? Yeah. When I talked to sources, they're like, yeah, it's like that. He says like, that's what he said. And I'm like verbatim. They're like, it's like that. And I'm like, okay. So let's go with paraphrased. Yeah. But that's essentially what is said at the end. And it sounds like a really good, ending. I think.
Way to cap it off. And I could just picture now, the music playing in the background, and everyone will be feeling all emotional and pulling on the heartstrings.
In the arms of an angel.
No, that's the opposite. Like Jar Jar's like shackled to like a thing like in the backyard, and like Misa need help.
Rob, you got such a beautiful voice.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
I've always said that about Rob.
A little bit of a backhanded comment there for the old macho man. Hey, right?
You are
He's a great
Sarah
rapper
McLachlan,
too.
the Sarah McLachlan.
I'm actually
of
giving you a
MakingStarWars.
compliment that you have a really beautiful voice.
Yeah.
He raps well too.
Yeah, good job, Sarah.
I am one.
Sarah. But
Sarah.
Anyways, yeah. So that's kind of the gist of What'd you say? Who did this go, Cutie?
She's done.
Frozen in Carbonite.
Goodbye.
Baymax saying,
oh, you're back.
Back. No.
Frozen in Carbonite. Wait, you're back. No, Max, don't give up.
Again?
Believe, Max, believe. You gotta believe.
You know what,
Max? You need to get your mojo back. That's what fuels your internet.
I already fucking. I rebooted the modem like twice. It's working fine. YouTube's playing, but I don't know. It's been happening twice with this. Yesterday it was my internet because I tried to watch y'all afterwards and it was just freezing. So hopefully,
here's what you have to do, Max. So after the stream today, get out a candle, put like 2 candles next to the modem, light both of them. Get out some baby oil, wrap in your hands like this. Just start rubbing it all alongside the modems and being like, boy, I know you bring me the fastest speeds, and I love you. And I'm sorry. Sometimes I overlook you when I'm talking with my friends, but I'm always here. For you. And just do that for about 45 minutes once a week, and you'll have perfect internet all the time.
Is that what you do?
You just put its hand over the modem's heart and you start yelling, "Anum Shaba! Anum Shaba! Anum Shaba!" and then scare the shit out of it to fucking do its job, right? Work for my little brother.
Or I'll say, do you want some jack off in the box?
Yeah, that works too. I mean, I don't know your modem. So Dell says, hello, they're still watching Santa on TV. Oh, is Santa still? Yeah, Santa. I was like rushing to get this out today, and I didn't get to catch the old Santa show. Yeah, well, usually Santa's on at 9, and that lines up perfectly. I had it on. I didn't see him at 9, but I'm gonna catch a show later on today after, and yeah, but so it's like gin rummy, and heyo, how's it going, Darth Maximus?
Hey, Darth Maximus.
Dell says, Space Jesus has been with you the entire journey.
That's what I said.
Isn't Kenobi Space Jesus, though? I mean, he's the one everybody thinks is Space Jesus.
Obi-Wan?
Pretty much. Well,
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan in Attack of the Clones is the one that you see. Has that ever been real? When they have like the picture of Jesus at like a 99-cent store, but it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is that completely a meme, or has it ever been real? Because if it's real, I really, really want to get one.
Well, Qui-Gon, I think, is more Jesus-y.
You think he's more Jesus-y?
Yeah, he has to.
I think he's more samurai. Like he's got the top knot. I think he's more samurai.
I think he's more yoga. He's more yoga instructor. You know? Yeah. He's more like let's do hot yoga.
He's back to Karens. Yeah.
Hey, Baymax, missed you, buddy. How you doing? And Baymax has the link to the article right there in the old chat. I will add it to the description of this one later on too. So, Sheev just said, wait, don't switch. Sheev just said, Jesus, Kenobi is ready to commit Jedi seppuku for his failure. I think there's a video of a grandma thinking Kenobi was Jesus. So, we got to find that.
I'm pretty certain that if the good liars took that photo down to one of those little Trump rallies, they'd be dumb enough to believe it too.
Dell says, if we combine you two, you'd have Bay Maximus, which would be one L of a mess. All right. Yeah, I see it.
A lot of effort there, buddy.
Check off in the box, you know? Hey, it's Mike Porter. How's it going, Mike? How you doing, dude? By the way, on a side note, my son was at his mom's last night, and he's like, if you want to play a little bit of Lego Star Wars, don't play beyond what we played, but if you want to go around looking for secrets so we can unlock more stuff, that's okay. I'm like, good, because when you're playing with like an 8-year-old, they just want to run through everything. They don't give a shit about side quest. It's eye on the prize, win. And so I'm like, oh, cool. So I go back through and I start playing around, and boy, was I wrong about that game. My initial impression just playing through the first 6 parts of the story, or 5 parts of the story. It's like a whole open world game. It's like a whole fucking GTA fucking like element to the whole thing. That's so far very well done. Like side quests, just talking to characters, and going around doing shit, and it's pretty rad. So I may have been too hard on the game, I gotta say, but I haven't done an official like review of it. And after this weekend, me and the kid will have finished the main story, and then I will have played a ton of the non-film story stuff. But so far, I gotta say, for the $65 or whatever it was for the game, totally worth it. But by far, yeah. But Eric Denton mentioned bugs yesterday, and boy, did I have the mother of all bugs. You know how there's like that Force vision-y kind of stuff that Lucas puts around, like when like Padme's dying. That like
back to thing?
Mm-hmm.
No,
that hazy stuff.
the hazy framing looks like he put Vaseline all over the sides of the frame or whatever. Like, so that effect is in the game. Whenever that effect comes on the game for me, it doesn't go away. And like I took a screenshot of like the opening crawl with that effect around it. It was just like, so I had like literally had to like leave the game, go back in to get rid of it at one point.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it's weird.
Is it very dramatic?
I felt like I was thinking of vision, like I was having a force vision, and in this force vision, everything was Lego. It was weird. But hey, Star Wars fits. Don't you go throwing no fits now, you Baymax says, I'm waiting for the members only Greasy Stringler watch party where Rob admits Big Ronnie is his new hero. I'm ready to I think we should do it. I'm ready to like do that. Rob just needs to say when he is available, and I'm down. We will do a members only Greasy Stringler watch party. It'll be a good time.
I'm down.
I'm not scared.
It'll be a while.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Baymax.
I wanted to do it.
Yeah. Baymax says, so Leia is essentially has a Pokemon droid. Yeah, I don't, maybe it's like an expansion Tamagotchi. I don't know. Yeah, I will say, like, from everything I heard though, it reminds me of that book Penny has in Inspector Gadget to some extent as a utility. And so the idea of little Leia being Penny from Inspector Gadget, I'm cool with that to some degree. But yeah. Gets his mojo back as Jason's Paper Moon. Also, Stella gets her groove back is also my other Paper Moon for that same thing too. But Star Wars fits. It's going to be great to see Qui-Gon again. Yeah, I agree. I like Qui-Gon is one of my. I don't think he's one of the deepest Star Wars characters in the sense that he just is very surface level. Like he's just a Jedi, the epitome of what a Jedi should be, I guess. And but it's so well done, and he's such a good character. And I always felt like
still would have been probably more interesting rather than killing him off in the first movie is having him take over the Count Dooku role. You know?
No,
yes, I think so.
He's good. He's good.
Not everyone's evil, Rob.
Well, I mean,
no, I think turning evil in the pursuit of doing good is an excellent theme, right? Like,
yeah,
if Qui-Gon thinks the whole council's being manipulated, the Republic's being manipulated by a Sith, and he rejects that, he's trying to do good. It turns out that whatever he's running is also being manipulated by the Sith.
Well, see, this is why we're a good team, because I'm going to take what you said and I'm going to make it even better, at least to me. And what I would have done if I was writing this shit is I would have had Count Dooku on the Jedi Council, and he disagrees, and that's when he walks, because he knows this shit's bad. So he once again ends up doing the right thing for the wrong reason, kind of scenario, but then ends up getting tricked into becoming a Sith Lord himself. What? Ultimate irony. But no, I think Qui-Gon he serves as the here's what you should be compared to all of the other Jedi.
Hey, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, if you need to restart or whatever, just go ahead and just do it. I'll just pull you. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. You're in my head. I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Are you restarting? Okay.
All right, cool. That was random.
Why does she even bother updating us? Like, just
I know we know,
Max.
At this point, we know.
It's almost like, you know, when someone's trying to hear their own voice on the radio when they call in, and
hello,
you're like, turn your radio down. Yeah.
I can hear myself. I can hear me. No, sorry. We're just messing with you, Max. I'm sorry.
Hey, can I ask you guys a really personal question?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. What did you guys think of episode 2 of Moon Knight?
Oh, we will get there. We will get there.
Star Wars fans like, stop talking about Marvel.
Yeah. No. I'm down.
excited,
I'm
bro.
down.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to,
Yeah. Well, no, we will get there. But Qui-Gon, the thing with Qui-Gon is that he exemplified the right path from the very start. He's not a ladder climber. They're saying like you could have been on the Jedi Council if you weren't fucking around all the time and doing this other side quest shit. You need to, do what you're told. And Obi-Wan's disappointed in him. But when you look at Anakin becomes a ladder climber. He ends up associated with Palpatine, and basically like he goes on his own path, and it's how the Jedi are supposed to be. So Qui-Gon, in a weird way, like is the model, and I think that you do need the exemplary Jedi to show how fucked up all of the other Jedi are and how messed up all of the other stuff is. I think that was the idea, anyways. The execution, we could argue till the cows come home if that was good or not, but that was the idea. I think it's a good idea. Just the only problem is, like the sequel trilogy, the prequels were written as he went along, and had he did it in a different way, Count Dooku would have been on the Jedi Council and definitely would have played into that part of the story, because he like literally leaves after the events of that moment. 10 years ago he left it. So it's just Lucas making up shit as he goes, and he should have special editioned it right from the very start. He should have just added
I was
it.
planning that. I was planning a special edition for the entire prequel trilogy. It was just it's going to be 6 hours long each until you got all the shit you wanted.
And they're all JJ cuts, right? It's all JJ's cut.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should talk to him.
I always envisioned Star Wars as JJ originally saw it before he got scared.
Well, it was my idea to have an orangutan build Vader, and they wouldn't let me do it. Rick McCollum said no, and so one time he put his Coke down. Allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah. The fact that a monkey fixed Kylo Ren's. I
like that. I like that. No, that is correct Star Wars in there. That is how you do it.
Did we actually see the monkey though? Like, or we just saw his like a close up of his face? I can't remember. So I remember Jason. I remember you reporting that something about a blue monkey or some shit like way before the movie came out. But I can't remember if we actually saw the actual monkey.
We actually see him.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
Just his face or full body?
Okay.
I thought it was close up of his face.
Yeah, you see him. He's like,
"Oh, I will build this for you, Master Kylo Ren."
I don't know what he actually says now.
Oh gosh, let's go.
Mac, freeze. I have Willow.
Works every time.
You guys don't know, but I got this signed picture of Willow, and ever since I got that, I can literally freeze people using magic acorns in my pocket.
That's pretty cool.
Only on the internet, though. Only on the.
You told me you were just happy to see me. Turns out it's an acorn.
So Baymax says Courtney loves future ghosts as Max's internet having a look at me moment eating up all the bandwidth. Oh man. Max's bandwidth is the girl with the most cake. All right. Max just texted me, "Oh my fucking god." Baymax wants to see Ayla Secura's hot yoga. Yeah, me too.
For sure.
Yeah, they should make that a Disney Plus series. Ayla Secura's hot yoga. I think we're onto something here. Or a really popular celebration panel. Also, I would say. So anyways, hey, Luke, how's it going? Luke is packing up my house, ready for moving next week. While I may not be in the bath right now, I am cleaning the bathroom. Yeah, congratulations on the move, dude, and stuff like that.
Nice.
And you're gonna be busy and all that stuff, but that's good news. And yeah, he sent me a nice message going, "Hey, I'm probably not going to be around too much and doing this, I might not be able to be a channel member." And I was like, "Hey, no worries, Luke Winchester. Just watch them balls wherever you go," is what I say. Junkbox says, "What's going on with the gallery episode for Boba Fett? At this point, Kenobi will be out before the gallery episode for Boba Fett comes out. So up front, Well, no. People were asking where's the gallery episode for Mando, and where it was for a long time was it was not being made on time because of COVID. It wasn't actually being a thing at all because of COVID, and then they put out a special episode later on. So I am going to say, with the fact that they even got Book of Boba Fett filmed during parts of the pandemic, makes me believe we will not be seeing a gallery for Book of Boba. I hope I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Max,
I'm so fucking sorry if it happens again.
No, you don't have to be sorry, Max. Just if it happens, it happens. We know what's going on. You don't have to tell us. We know.
Yeah, but I am.
But
I'll
freeze you. I'll freeze you. What did you do?
You know what happens when I know that it's going to happen is
invasion.
Yeah. Wait.
I did what you told me to do.
Go look in the closet. Is Theo Bibble in there?
Huh?
Is he a little blue hologram? And is he
Do I see what?
saying anything about is he mentioning invasion? Because I know in Texas, you guys think the Russians are going to invade you and all kinds of Spanish speaking people and stuff like that. So you may be onto something. I'm just saying, if the internet is any indication. No. But
it only means one thing. No, I don't think that's a really good joke right now.
No, probably not.
No,
you know what? This show's not about good jokes at this point, is it? It's just about jokes.
That's why I'm here.
Junkbox says there's a door you can hit on the Hoth level that gives you infinite studs. What? All right. Let's party.
It's also known as Adam Driver mode.
Adam Driver mode.
Yeah.
Swole mode. Baymax says Meg was saying on Santa Stream, Book of Boba Fett 2 Season 2 is almost inevitable and could be announced at Celebration. You hearing any whispers? Why are you laughing? Why is this guy laughing? Just because it's not good doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Or because it didn't meet our standards.
God bless her. You know, she never lost it, right? Like it happened to me, right?
Well,
she believes that they're gonna fix it. You're not gonna fix it.
Well, the thing about I didn't get to see it, so obviously I can't like comment on what Meg said. I don't know yet, but up front they never called Book of Boba Fett a limited series at all. I know, Kitty. I'll release that next week, Kitty. God, these cats always telling me what I gotta do, what I can't do, what I can't say, what I can say.
All the cats are horny. That's what this. Everyone is horny. I mean, my cats. Cats.
Great, now you've done
horny.
it.
Who cares?
Well, I need to get some bits. Did it even play? I feel like it just.
It played.
It played.
Okay. Yeah, on my end it was like blah. Anyways, I'm horny. Who cares? So yeah, I mean, if the cats could understand what Daisy really is saying there, they would know it's not that big of a deal and they can shut up about it. But they want everybody to know. Look at me, I'm horny. You know, look at me, everybody. I'm Courtney Love. I got the girl with the most cake. So, anyways, no, but Book of Boba Fett was never introduced as a limited series. It was never mentioned as one. Mm-hmm. So I think that if there was always the hope that if there would be more Boba Fett, that it would be a massive success. And I'm gonna say two things. Number one is the fucking numbers are good. That's all they probably care about. At the end of the day, yeah. Oh, really? You think Bob Chapek is like, oh, this Star Wars wasn't up to my Star Wars standards? He doesn't give. Chapek doesn't care. He's be like, give us more.
I anxiously look forward to the big release date of Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett 2 at Celebration. Not gonna happen.
You don't. I don't.
It's not gonna happen. It's uneventful. I'm saying that it's not gonna happen.
I think you're making a value judgment based on the quality of the product, but not about the success of the product.
So do you and Chris want to bet on that?
I don't want it.
This is a company that constantly runs from everything, bro. They will not do it. They're going to let it go. And it might do it later. But at Celebration this year, they have so many wins to bring up. They're not going to bring up that fucking show. They're not going to bring it up.
Here comes the wrestling. Here comes the wrestling.
That event isn't San Diego Comic-Con. That event is the church where they are speaking to the choir. It's pretty much the only place that you could ever bring that up and know that you're going to be fine no matter. I mean, it could be the fucking holiday special, and at that place, everybody will be like, "Yeah, do it! Get JJ to do it next. Can JJ do it?" You know that's what they'll be saying, dude. At Celebration, it's.
I'm wrong. You're right. They're going to announce season 2. It'll be the greatest ever.
I'm not saying they're going to announce shit. I didn't say shit about an announcement.
Everyone knows more than me. I know.
That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is
it's inevitable.
You said they wouldn't even mention it. And
I don't mean like they won't mention the show or have the actors there. They'll find a way to make some of that money back. I'm talking about making more of that. They're not doing that.
The thing about the Book of Boba Fett is two things. Two things I think make it. I only see incentives in this thing. Number one, it did really fucking well, and number two, it's only up from here. You can't fuck it up
so
anymore.
Well. Robert Rodriguez is remaking Spy Kids. You know what I mean? That's the big announcement.
We're not
had no interviews afterward. It's done so well. Because when you get a big win, you love to do laps around the. You know what I mean? Like anytime a move, the freaking the Spider-Man people won't shut up. That fucking movie's done so well. We won't go away. We got to hear about them every day.
Rob. Number one, we're not talking about wins for Robert Rodriguez. We're talking about the Star Wars product, but even at that, it is ultimately a win for Rodriguez, not an artistic win, not one where we're like, you know what, Robert, you did it, bud, you did it, you did a good job.
All right.
Some of it, but in terms of like the fucking numbers, the numbers are there.
I think
like,
if they did it,
yeah,
they would fix all the crap that they had in the first.
That's how I made episode 2. I fixed all the problems everyone had with episode 1. And it was a much better film.
Yeah, but that was George.
Yeah, I mean, I can do no wrong. I can do no wrong.
I personally would rather they make any Star Wars series than another Boba Fett one. I would rather they do a Han Solo.
I'm not saying you
Star Wars
are going to go there and announce the show, Jason. I'm not.
No, I'm talking about. I'm saying me though. I mean, I would rather they make any Star Wars product than that. I think that you had your fucking shot. That's what you did. It doesn't go anywhere. I don't need to. What's happening with the mods next? Nobody's asking that. So the only place really to go is like that Mace Windu route or whatever, which would actually be which would get fans excited and general audiences would like, oh, Samuel L. Jackson, I love him, I'll watch it.
It's the only way to do a second season, but they're not going to announce a second season at Celebration. It's not inevitable. They're going to announce it. It's that it's not going to happen. Not this year. Maybe 2 years from now.
Rob, do you think that they will announce or give an update on the Rangers show at Celebration? No,
I don't think you hear about that till after Mando season 3. They're going to be talking probably about this new stuff, the Grandma Roadie. They're going to be talking about what's coming, the things that are excited, not trying to explain or deal with things that kind of maybe went a little weird in the past, Well, they haven't even talked about Acolyte. Like they haven't even brought those people out. So there's so many things currently being built to bring up other stuff that is not even anywhere near. I mean, Ahsoka, the series, is in more of a completion than that. So
yeah, true. The press release does say the future, the past, present, and future of the Mandalorian. So it'll be interesting to see what the future. Is it season 3? Is it a movie? Is it season 4? Like, what do you? They are going to talk about the future of the Mandalorian. So basically, what I'm asking you is, what do you think the future of the Mandalorian is? You and Jason.
I have seen how many BlizzCons now, and the panel always says the past, present, and future of Diablo 4. Then they never say shit. Like we were reading into those things as if that's like a tome. Like they're gonna come down and give us the Star Wars. They will withhold as much relevant information as possible. Yeah. You know.
Well, here's the big difference I think with Book of Boba Fett continuing in some way versus anything else is that if the primary writer and creative director are both mainstays in all of this, and also we also should be asking ourselves what kind of correcting, if any, will Mando season 3 be doing for the Book of Boba Fett? For instance, what is Boba Fett's interplay to the main events of Mando season 3, if any? Because if there is some, that could literally inform where the future of that series goes. What if they realize the mods didn't work? They don't want the mods. What, I'm just making this up, but what if in the very first thing is Boba helps Mando in an episode and they all get killed and then they just move on from there? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff could happen in Mando season 3. It's possible, but it depends on I think that the numbers are good, so it speaks well for Star Wars. Ultimately, I think if they wanted to do more of 3, I don't think Disney's gonna stop them, because they ultimately only care about the bottom line. You know what I mean? And the bottom line for Boba Fett was actually rather positive. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the main takeaway.
The coordinated PR statement with the numbers told us so. So I believe it.
No,
it's a very PR. They never release numbers unless they're trying to save face. They always withhold numbers until something goes, and then like, look, actually, this was really a win. Like when Lucas goes, Return of the Jedi made more money than Empire, so clearly it was the better film. That's okay, George. That's a great way of Ralph McQuarrie quit over Return of the Jedi, but sure, it is a better film.
No,
sure.
Though that was the numbers were third-party numbers collected and then given via Nielsen to the Hollywood Reporter or Variety. I can't remember which article it was now, but it was a third party. I was looking for that kind of stuff back then.
I'm not saying the numbers don't exist. What I'm trying to say is they always withhold numbers. Why all of a sudden now we get numbers about this show? Like, it's to save a little face. That's all it is.
I think.
Show me the merchandise numbers. Show me how much the merch sold. Curious to see how much the merch sold.
They didn't even.
Why is it all on discount?
They didn't
go styling online.
There is no merch. That's the comedy of it. We remember that Monopoly board we were making fun of like 6 months ago. That shit ain't even out yet. there isn't any merch. That's
because Jesse's hoarding everything at the docks.
Black Series figures is hardly any merch.
Yeah. No, they don't really have merch numbers yet. The numbers were done via the industry at this point. Like I said, the numbers are strong. Like I said, I don't even, and believe it or not, while I'm trying to make this point, I don't want Star Wars to fail, but it doesn't necessarily make me happy when something I consider to be mediocrity in terms of opportunity does well. It doesn't make me happy when lukewarm Star Wars succeeds because it says the wrong thing to the corporation, doesn't it? At the end of the day, it says make it dumber and easier to follow, which I don't even think that was easy to follow, but whatever. Make it dumber and it'll do well. And so what we will have to see. I think it ultimately depends on if Jon Favreau has more story to tell. And I'm just going to throw it out there. What if there is a better story to tell? I do think it's only up from here. So if they do it, I will be interested if they do more. Because like I said, I think that you could only make it better. But at the same time, Favreau's we hear he's producing Grammar Rodeo. And the thing about that so far is I'm no Jon Favreau fucking expert, but doesn't he tend to really run the shit that he does and have a real creative hand in it? So that's the other thing that I would say put on the table is how much can Favreau realistically keep doing, and how much would he
if
want
he's
to
running? Yeah, well, if he's running Mando season 3 and Grammar Rodeo, dude's got his play full.
Mando 3's done now. That's behind us. Grammar Rodeo's coming.
It's filming finished.
Yeah, Mando 3 is.
But he's doing Grammar Rodeo, right?
And then Grammar Rodeo is next, and then we're going to assume Mandalorian season 4 would be.
Could you imagine?
Would be on the table? Yeah.
Could you imagine if Vince Gilligan was trying to show run Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul at the same time? Do you think that would be a good idea? Like there's only so much bandwidth. Yeah. It's super difficult.
The only thing about Star Wars that I could add to that is that there's usually such a bottleneck. There's like this bottlenecking issue where they could only do so much at one time, but then they have all of the stuff in development. And so for all we know, if Favreau didn't have his hands tied, he could put out like fucking 2 shows a year or the stories and stuff like that and keep it going because he likes it. It's easy for him, maybe. I don't know, but so we don't know how far ahead he is. Oh, thank you, Nolan. Nolan just gave a $4.99 super chat saying, when has Disney ever released merch numbers for a streaming show? Disney PR has released viewing numbers for every Marvel and Star Wars show to date. So there you go. So they've always done it. The recent
I told you I'm wrong. What are you talking about? You guys are right. I can't wait. I look forward to it. I'm putting the countdown clock on tonight. Book of Boba Fett season 2, the inevitable countdown.
No,
can't wait.
But like I said, I think in this instance, your analysis is based on a value judgment of the art itself and not the financials. And the financials for Boba Fett have been positive. And I can tell you though, I know people at Lucasfilm and people who worked on the show, and they're not happy with it. They don't think it came out that good. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone's just like, about it. That's the general.
I'm the first one to say they should make another one, but they should Wrath of Khan. I've been saying this since the thing ended, and they should get a new person that knows whatever Mace Windu, the revenge story, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Do I think they're going to inevitably announce that that's being done and they're going to give us a date and tell us what everything they're going to do with it? No, they don't know what they're going to do with it. They have no fucking clue what they're going to do with that whole thing. They move at they don't know what they're doing 100% for a movie. Do they really know what they're doing right now with Taika and his film? Like, just think about how this company moves.
Mm-hmm.
They move slow.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. But if the company's moving at 5 miles an hour and Favreau's creativity is working at 20, he's going to be working ahead. I mean, to like some extent in terms of writing stories and like mapping this stuff out and what he wants to like do with it and things like that.
Given his writing on Boba Fett, he should write slower. Like,
yeah,
that's take a
little time. No, that's the. I have to say, I feel I've thought about this for a long time, and I think the writing on Book of Boba Fett handed so much over to the directors. It said it plotted, and it left. It was more plot than it was anything, and it didn't leave a lot of room, or left too much room for the director to interpret and to play. And what Rodriguez did just wasn't fun. It just didn't really go very far. But in terms of that Bacta tank kind of thing, if they do go back to that, if that becomes, I don't think they will. But when I say obviously he is like by the end of it he's healed up. He doesn't need to be going back into the tank. But you can there's other ways of getting to that flashback-y kind of stuff. He looks up towards the sun and then you pan down and you're back in a different time. But I think they should get Daniel Logan. Have Daniel Logan. What if during the dark times Daniel Logan gets word that Mace is out there? What if he's been hunting for Mace for years? Doesn't find him, and then finally in real time, 40-something-year-old, can be done. to make Boba Fett
Sure.
fun and tell a story, because like with some like progression and stuff. But once again, I think they will do it, even if they shouldn't. I don't think they should. I
At
think they
Celebration
should
this year.
Well, okay, Rob, I'm gonna
I'm
pick on you.
easily
I'm gonna
able to
pick on you,
say
Rob.
no.
I'm gonna pick on you, Rob. I'm gonna pick on
me.
you.
Okay.
If it was a different day, you would say they would announce anything and never deliver it. So
Yeah, they
with
do that all the time. They don't need celebrate. It's like when I keep hearing how
here we
May
go.
the 4th is going to be the big day they announce something, and all they ever announce is a 20% off coupon on fucking unsold Rogue One merchandise. It's never the fucking amazing day they make it out to be. Like it's
okay.
Like there's only so how they build these shows.
Are we talking about happening at Celebration, or are we happening?
Yeah.
Or we're talking about it happening in general?
I'm not saying ever. I'm saying at Celebration, Jason.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
I said ever. Yeah, I think they should, but I think for now they need to just put over there.
Yeah.
Take a time out, Boba Fett in the corner. You go play some Fortnite, some Lego Star Wars. You just chill for 6 months. They're not bringing it up right now.
Yeah.
There's just the internet fan base moves at a whole different speed than an internal studio. You know, like
on a side note, this is just a little bit of lame. This is armchair psychology here. I was at the premiere of Solo: A Star Wars Story, and Mando wasn't announced yet, but there were people with if somebody had something Mando released, he would like equivalent of This Is the Way kind of stuff, and Favreau would be like, "You're going to be very happy." He knew that just like pushing that Boba Fett, like hitting that little sore in our hearts, that love for Boba Fett would make people happy, and I heard him say it twice that night. And I was like, and I already knew that, what was going on there. But it was like, really at that point, it was like, oh, okay. So yeah, Favreau.
And for the record, I still stand. Boba Fett episode 2 is all the Boba Fett. It was great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love all the crew there. I love the whole thing,
But where I'm going with that is that it to people, when he wants to please people, he knows that it does. You're going to have Jon Favreau in front of an audience of like 4,000 Star Wars people that are going to be shouting stupid shit like "This is the way." There's going to be a bunch of Mando mercs in their Boba Fett costumes that fucking act like Klingons when he comes out. I think if somebody asks him, they get the opportunity, I think he's going to say it's happening. I think I would actually. I don't really give a shit. I don't really have a dog in the fight, but I'm going to bet that he does confirm it if given the opportunity. I think he will. I think he will say he has the story
for season 2,
and he's lying.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm getting Sam Jackson. I'm
no,
just do what the internet told us to do. Like,
yeah, no. I bet you he does have a story. I mean, we all. If Kathleen Kennedy came to you right now and said, "Hey, you got a story for Boba Fett?" You'd be like, "Yeah." He does have a story. He made after he wrote the first one, he had to be thinking about what's next. Because imagine if that series had come out, it had been a huge success. It was actually, and then it was universally loved at the same time. It would be a foregone conclusion that they were going to make season 2. So so before he even knew if the show was good or not, he had to have been thinking about it. But will they do it or not? And will it be announced at Celebration if we're going to put that lens on it? I really honestly don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they wink.
Well, let me ask you this, Jason. From what you know, and obviously don't go into spoilers and whatnot, but do you think there will be a season 4 of Mando, or do you think it ends? Do you think it ends it with 3?
No, I think like I said originally, I knew what the whole premise of the show and the pitch of it was and everything like that. And I think season 3 ends. I think it's like that phase is done. It truly is the real end of it. And then Star Wars Only said that it was going to be the final season. I was like, well, that does make sense. And what's his name? Moff Gideon actor. He said that it would be 4 seasons. And then at the time I was like, well, maybe Book of Boba Fett is technically the other season. The cast and crew did think it was the next season. I was like, maybe it's that, but it ended up not being it. It was just kind of a cover thing. So I think it'll get multiple seasons. I don't think they'll like drop it. I think if as long as it continues to be a win for them,
keep going.
I think so. Until it reaches a real hard stop, like maybe, Din dies or something like that. Then that's okay. Well, now we really can't do it. We got to stop now. That would be like the way out.
The title is The Mandalorian, so any Mandalorian can really carry the mantle of the show, right?
It could be plural. It could be plural. It could be, and once we get the restoration of Mandalore at place, and now it's called The Mandalorian, and it means all of the people, then you could continue. You could like continue it on, and then the other angle too about this kind of stuff, the other cover that they have, so to speak, is would they continue Book of Boba Fett as its own show, or will it simply end up intertwining with The Mandalorian? Because I think that honestly would have been the better way to do it. I would rather have had more episodes of The Mandalorian with Boba Fett centric episodes and Din's story. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially what this really is. We're just not being real about it. The edit, it's almost like we do have that show and it's been edited apart to pretend like this other thing is something else. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it right now anyways.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So what to see though? So I just want to go back to this excellent comment of Ayla Sakura Hot Yoga. Yes. Yeah, we should definitely do that. Baymax says that was the original Baymax quote. Okay. Oh, Will Morgan says the cows are home, bro. Oh, Santa's here. What? Santa, you got a lot of nerves showing your face. You have
Did he call Santa a cow?
Hey, Baymax.
He's having moo. Can I ask you a personal question about Moon Knight? So he's having a dig at me, but it's all good.
It's Moon Knight.
This one's for Rob. Can I ask you a personal question? How much grease do you need on your dog? Lamb head. I saw the lamb head picture today and I was like, Will Morgan says Boba did exactly what they wanted it to. As soon as Rodriguez was on, I knew what we were going to get. It doesn't really matter how we feel about it. That's my horrible takeaway too. Will,
I love Gen Xers nihilism. You know what I mean? Like, Gen X nihilism is just my favorite.
Is Will? I don't know. I even know how. Is Will a Gen? I don't even know if Will could be 7 for all. I'm not sure how old Will is.
I'm willing to bet. You'll lie. You'll lie now. Nihilism is always it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what we think. They're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. Hell of a take. Love to hear that every day.
No, I just think at the end of the day, though, that nihilism does pertain to Disney with success. I mean, if something is making money, they continue doing it until they see a decline, until they can predict a decline. If they can predict a decline, that's when they jump. I mean, classically, that's what it's been. But Will also says that Robert did the original Spy Kids. Laugh out loud. He got his new movie because of Boba. That's it. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't have a take on that. But I think that could be possible too. But Nolan said, I could totally see Favs and Filoni announcing Book of Boba Fett season 2 at the Mando panel. Yeah, me too. It's a full panel dedicated to Mando and its spinoffs. So I think updates on Mando 3, Ahsoka, and more. Yeah, I think so.
I could see a lot of things happening on Disney Plus Day, and none of them happened. So
no, that's not us. That's not us.
None of them happened.
We're not responsible for Disney Plus Day.
Disney Plus Day.
Yeah, no. I don't ask other leakers for.
They can make a lot of money.
I don't treat other leakers as sources. That's why usually my shit's kind of on. But right. Rob is of the mind, let the past die. He is. He really is.
Keep quoting that fucking movie.
Star Wars Santa says, have a great weekend, folks. Got to go. Work meetings on Friday afternoon. Fuck my life. Will says, nah, Boba shows definite signs of plans. That's the series' fault. They had somewhere they wanted to go, but how they got there didn't matter. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, it's Meg's birthday. Happy birthday, Star Wars Meg. It's Sunday, April 10th.
Hey.
Okay. Happy birthday, Meg.
Happy birthday.
And Meg, when you are right,
Star Wars.
When you are right, Meg, I want you to come on the show as a birthday gift to you, and we will mute Rob, and you could just make fun of him for like 5 minutes, however long you go. It's your show. Happy birthday.
It's gonna feel just like Christmas. I'm telling you.
Will Morgan says it's all plot. Starts throwing trash cans. 43 years old. Why do you always go through this? Throws the other trash can, he says. So he's 43. So yeah. I guess 43, I guess that's like, it's like one of those Zennials is what they call us, I think. I don't know if we really get the Gen X.
No, I'm 43. It's Gen X.
Yeah, it's like
78, bro.
Yeah.
78, 79. That goes up to 80, 81. So he's right at the end of it.
Yeah, but there is a better what do you want to call it, definition, and that is the Xennials are the micro generation of people on the cusp of Generation X and millennial demographic cohorts. They're also called the Oregon Trail generation, and that is what's the year on this Wikipedia? I mean, come on, that should be like in the very first fucking part of this. I mean, give me a fucking break. Xennials is a blah, 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 blah. The birth years of the late 70s and early 80s. So the late 70s are considered the Xennials. And I do see a definite difference, though. Usually I don't buy into that kind of shit, but on that one right there, I do buy into it because we do have like differences. We weren't like I watched H.R. Puff and stuff, but only because I watched too much TV as a kid and I saw that shit in syndication. But like they were watching H.R. Puff and stuff. We were watching fucking Transformers and shit. Totally different. Mike Porter says, I'm 58 turning into 59. I'm throwing trash cans. Will has died of typhoid. See, that's the Oregon Trail joke that you only get if you're an Oregon Trail kid. But anyways, I used to stay after school to play the Oregon Trail. I liked it a lot. I was like, I go knock on the door in 5th grade. Miss Buell, can I play Oregon Trail? And she'd be like, I'm grading until 6. I'm like, okay. So yeah. But anyways, Lego Star Wars is good. Legos. But what'd you think of the old Moon Knight? I was going to see if Max came back. Max says, Michael told me to unplug the modem for a little bit. I'll jump back on in a few minutes. So I was waiting for Max originally, but we'll just I'll ask you what you're thinking about the old Moon Knight. Moon Knighting. That should be a podcast. A Moon Knight podcast.
I'm loving it so far. It's a slow burn, but I mean the acting's fucking phenomenal. Oscar Isaac's killing it. Ethan Hawke's amazing. But one thing just grinds my gears a bit is the lack of action in the suit. But I'm sure that's going to improve the next 4 episodes or whatnot. But yeah, man, yeah. I'm loving it. Yeah. Just want to see more Moon Knight action. You know what I mean?
I'm a fan of those, amalgamation of genres or ideas. And I was saying yesterday, the idea of putting Indiana Jones and Fight Club together. Genius idea. It's a good idea. and so far it's working. When I just watched the first episode, I didn't really, I wasn't really buying the Oscar Isaac as a nerd thing. I didn't think it was like that good. But once you put both of them, once you put both of the personalities together interacting, that's where I think you see how good it is.
You
so,
seen episode 2 yet, Jason?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in episode 2, that's where you see how good it is. But in the first episode, when he's just playing Steven the nerd the whole time, for the most part, it's a little bit like, okay, but you know, you still look like Oscar Isaac, you know.
Yeah.
But it's when you put them both together that you're like, yeah, I buy this.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
Let's try it, Max. What did you think of Moon Knight?
The first episode was a little slow, but then the second episode was better.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Are we losing you already?
No, hold on. No, it's mine.
She's like, no, hold on.
Don't.
I just like
me.
the sound effect.
Little girl's room.
The sound effect
He's so exasperating.
for someone entering. The sound effect for someone entering a room is like Pong. You know what I mean? Boop. Boop. Beep.
Do they hear that, or do we just hear that? I don't even know.
No, we hear that. They don't hear it.
I think y'all just hear it. Because when I know when it's gonna stop, because y'all start going and then I just see like
I think that's just
all
me.
your screens like working. Huh?
What if it turns out this whole
She's
time?
onto us. We've been doing this the whole time, not telling her.
Yeah.
Boss
Nass
never
style.
have her on the show again.
Yeah, that's the one.
No, I I liked it. The second one was the second episode was better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, when you put them both together, it does seem to be pretty strong show. And I thought it was kind of interesting too from a Star Wars perspective, because if I'm what I've heard is correct, didn't Oscar Isaac have a bit of creative input into this?
Yeah.
Into the
Producer or
and
something.
yeah, so like it's kind of like back to our conversation about Donald Glover, you know, and Lando. I kind of don't see Donald Glover wanting to work on a Lando Disney Plus series without having some creative input into it, or being a part of the like at least story team, if not the writing itself.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder if when we see Oscar Isaac return as Poe Dameron and something down the road, if this may be the start of him having more creative control over his characters and what he does. And so far, based off of this, I would be down for that.
Donald Glover interviewed himself the other day.
This
did not go well.
Rob, do you have any opinions on the show, or can I hear your review?
Oh yeah, man, I love it. I'm all for everything Marvel's doing. Like every show is different. Every show has its own tone. I like all of it. I think this is the way to do origin stories. So you can spend the fact that you can spend an hour with the pathetic character so that you know what his limitations are. It's not like you have time to know what they can actually do, you know?
Yeah.
Who they you actually feel sorry for when you realize that, well, he's even shocked he has a wife. You're like, yeah, this guy is barely functional, you know, as a, you know, and then when they look around his apartment and they see all that gear he has to keep him from sneaking out of bed, and it just looks like he's in a weird S&M shit, you know. It's like, and everyone's like, what is that? It's like, well, I mean, you know, like, it's just, I relate to a character who's constantly have to explain their weird lives to people, and it never being understood by the general public. Like, totally, you know. Only I can't summon a suit. I can only summon bad Star Wars takes. That's my superpower.
And what do you think of the action?
I love it, man. It's creative. Like the cupcake thing is awesome. You know, I thought the use of smaller budgets is great. You know, is the fighting as good as, say, a Daredevil? No.
Yeah.
But a fight isn't supposed to be about like how many awesome kicks you do or stand a twirling your sword really fast. You want to learn something about a character every time there's a fight. Do we learn something about a character every time there's a fight? And the answer is yes. We learn something new about that character. Like Steven can summon his own weird suit. You know,
Yeah.
Steven can get super strong. Those are all things we didn't know. We learned in the second episode. The first episode, we learned, hey, look, he can be creative. You know, like he actually could survive, and then not can he let the other guy in? So you're learning things every time. So it does work out. Yeah.
Do you think they'll stick the landing, or do you think it'll?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, the only show that had trouble with the landing was Falcon and Winter Soldier, but what they did with it's fine. It's just that original ending was supposed to be a virus, and they had to reshoot all that because of COVID. You know what I mean? Like it sort of took the villains, and it didn't give the villains a chance to do anything really bad, kind of thing. You know. So.
Junkbox says, really disappointed they haven't announced a show for Dr. Aphra. Pretty much a female indie, but give her a Sith MacGuffin and watch her go. I think I could be wrong, but I mean they definitely have seen people say this. They definitely had to have looked into it to try to figure out, what to do about it. But I think you run up against two things. The first is that Dr. Aphra is when you get down to it, in terms of like the history of a comic book character, pretty fucking new still. So in a weird way, the more that they're able, if they are still contributing to the character in any meaningful way in the comics, maybe not a good time to go and fuck with that too much, to let the comic, let the people who've been doing it contribute to it. But at the same time, I think the premise is the character. But also you have Indiana Jones. You have Indiana Jones coming out next year. Do you really you want Star Wars people seeing Indiana Jones? If you give them Star Wars Indiana Jones, they don't really need Indiana Jones as much. So
they're getting Marvel Indiana Jones. So
they are getting Marvel Indiana Jones with Star Wars guy, with the Star Wars guy. So
with the Star Wars guys. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I also think in order to do we don't know how Indiana Jonesy they're gonna get. Like looking for some artifacts is one thing. Big set pieces and is a whole nother. And if you literally say they never came out and said the premise of our show is Fight Club meets Indiana Jones. They did lean on the Fight Club part more to an extent. But with Aphra, you have to say it's Indiana Jones in space, and then that implies a whole lot of money to make minecart like sequences and like they got to get real creative with all that. Like
that's a really good point. Is Dr. Aphra a Disney Plus show, or is it a fucking movie?
Hey, look, if that was their new movie with Patty Jenkins, right?
Yeah.
And it was going to be Indiana, and they scrapped the new Indiana Jones movie. They want to do that. I'd be 100% for it. That's a way to sort of reboot Indiana Jones without doing it. You know what I mean? Like you just take it to Star Wars. The only thing I would say is, and this is just, it can be fixed, but with Indiana Jones, when you bring up an item or an artifact that no one has any fucking clue about, say like in Temple of Doom, it's harder to get emotional about it, right?
Right.
And with Star Wars, every artifact would be totally made up. You know what I mean? Unless it was like trying to find the first Kyber crystal, or you see what I mean? Or like the Rhodian condoms, like I don't know what it would have to be real Sithy, lore-y stuff. They've been really hesitant.
You all heard about Ochi's dagger. You heard about Ochi's sword. You know what it finds?
That was the first. Have they done
an
Aphra movie? Have they done an Aphra movie in between The Last Jedi instead of Solo? Right, that was an Aphra movie that was all about getting that dagger or something. Or it explained like she was going to get Luke's hand, kind of shit. Right, like that explained the open. Like there's ways to do this, But
the staff of Aphra.
As a TV procedural, you run the risk of how many. You can come up with a lot of items like in a comedy, like in DuckTales, right, where there's puns, and you can be like, "This is the talisman of Quackerjack," and you're like, "Ah ha ha ha." But when you're trying to have a serious tone over and over again, as you know, developing an Indiana Jones movie is way harder than people think. Like Lucas found that out, like quickly.
Yeah. Obi-Wan Dahomey says, I think her story would do well in animation. And number one, I think if they did do Afra as an animated show, I think it would be pretty successful.
Yeah.
But I ultimately think that it would have its hands tied in terms of Afra. Afra's more like at times like Indy from Temple of Doom. Not as dark, but really is, is more of the unrealized Han Solo before A New Hope. She has more of that kind of vibe to her. She's a little bit more of a gray character as opposed to like a hero. It's not a villain, but she's really not necessarily a hero. And even though she's a protagonist. And so I kind of think it would be wise if they ever did it, just to go all in, do the Afra movie, because then you could do the like we were talking about the mind. You're probably not going to get a minecart sequence on Disney Plus. I could be wrong, but so far the visual effects sequences in Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus hasn't really there's not a pod race moment on Disney Plus I go back just to watch. There's episodes I love, stories I love, but in terms of like spectacle, I think that's safe for the movie still.
The closest would be the Tusken raid on the train heist, right?
Yeah.
Like so far, that would be the closest.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, and that's very pedestrian in terms of like an action sequence. You know what I mean? It's like if you just that was just horses going after a train at the end of the day. It's something you could have seen on a Western essentially. And even though it looks faster, it's the same pace as a Western when you get down to it. So I'm kind of the I think today, either on purpose or an accident, you've convinced me that Dr. Afra should be an Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark sized film. Go big or go home on that one.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
And if they do it, and she's never been in live action before, and if they go and they do something lukewarm, they could sabotage the character in terms of its future, of her future, I should say. Baymax says Afra comics started off great, but last year or so turned for the worse. Agree. Some really crappy, forgettable side characters. Agreed. I'd be worried who would write it. Yeah, exactly. I think it ultimately like comes down to the premise and the personality. And the premise is that she's kind of a lovable asshole. And so that you get the right casting on that, it's great. And the Indiana Jones premise, the Mummy premise, the Jewel of the Nile premise, it's hard to like not like that. But you are right. It would require a really strong like artifact, like finding Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and selling it to Maz Kanata or something. I don't know.
Or you go the Mission Impossible movie route where there's like an item that this elite sect of, ex-Imperials are looking for. We got to get it before they do, kind of, like there is another way to do it. And the only one that the partisans have to hire, the questionable Dr. Afra to help them get it kind of shit, and will she betray, like all that kind of, there's tons of potential. If I had to pick anyone to put that together, it'd be Chris McQuarrie. I'd pay him all the money in the world and be like, whatever you want to do, Jack,
Junkbox says, you want spectacle? I have an awesome idea about having a Rancor trash Tatooine and having Boba Fett ride the Rancor. Yeah.
And no one cares. That's how they fucked that one up.
Like, it just I actually tried I actually did try to rewatch that sequence as a pod race. You know what I mean? As a lightsaber duel, as something I would just watch just to watch the sequence. And when I put it on, what do I see? I see my friends playing a video game shooting at the shields. And I'm like, stop shooting at the shields, Rob and Chris. That's not how you beat it. Why do you keep doing that, Rob and Chris? You clearly need to do it a different way. And pew, 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 pew. And I'm just like, oh, that's so. Yeah, but it that was an attempt at it. It just didn't happen for me, anyways. If it worked for you, Junkbox, by all means, keep enjoying it. I don't mean to ruin anybody's good time. Max says, "Sorry, I'll see you guys next time." Max, I'm sorry too, Max. I was gonna say, Max, maybe next, if you want to return or next time you do, I was gonna suggest that maybe you don't do video, you just do audio, because being able to talk to you would be better than nothing. So
and Max, we've been with you the whole time.
And Max, we were with you the whole time.
Come on, I worked it into the show. Come on.
That's called the callback in comedy. I heard that on a podcast one time.
That means you're informed.
That means I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's like one step away from clown college. But yeah. No,
so speaking of clown college, someone named Funhouse Radio followed me on Twitter, and they had the craziest streaming radio station you've ever heard.
That was cool.
It's great. Yeah. It is fantastic. Thank you, Funhouse. If you're watching Funhouse Radio, I appreciate this. Like content I didn't even know exists is out there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. The thing about Dr. Aphra as a character is that that premise is so strong, though. The comics did get worse for her because I think she started to become a successful character. She's one of the only, or one of the first original Star Wars Marvel characters of the current iteration to actually take off. So they just started making shit, whether they should or not.
Yeah.
There's like, you know what? If we put Aphra on it, someone's gonna buy it. It's gonna sell. So, but yeah, like they had her teaming up with what's her name? Starla Stanos. Can't remember what the chick's name is now. The Han Solo's the character who pretended to be Han Solo's wife from a previous story or whatever. What, Han had a wife, and which at the same time didn't really work out exactly how we thought it would in that moment. But I thought it would have been fucking fun as hell if Han had a wife we didn't know about before. That makes complete sense. That guy
explained Rey.
Well, she was. I believe she was a black woman, so it wouldn't explain Rey, unless Rey. Yeah, it wouldn't work. But
it could skip a generation.
True.
Can I just say Jodie Comer's fucking hot? Marie's mom. Jodie Comer.
Yeah, you can say that.
Because I saw her in The Last Duel like a few days ago. She was fine. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, here are you guys right here. You're welcome.
That music.
Yeah, I know, right?
Something else.
Yeah. I still haven't watched it. Bespin was like, it's not a good movie. I was like, okay.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. But well, I think I think we might have done it, guys. I think we might have done it today. I think we might have had a show.
We did. We had a show. We had some spoilers. We got some awesome news. I got into a argument with the entire cast on the chat about the inane show. This is so dumb. It's a dumb thing to argue about. Nobody wins if they announce it. Just letting you know. And then now we're gonna go eat, and I'm gonna go see Sonic 2. Fully masked up.
You're gonna watch that today, Rob?
Today.
You're gonna
I found an empty theater.
If you get COVID seeing it though, and I lose 2 of you to Sonic, I'm just letting you know, I will never watch Sonic again. Baymax says Rebel Force Radio said a few months back that they've BTS behind the scenes that Aphra is coming to live action for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I mean I know. I think Jeremy Conrad he heard stuff about that a long time ago too, and but on a side note, for what it's worth, and this has nothing to do with any of these people mentioned, but the comedy of this is that there was stuff going around that about this Asian influence in Star Wars that was coming, and everyone took that to mean Aphra. I didn't report it. I just said okay, and but I'm pretty sure that it actually ended up being Acolyte. and the martial arts stuff coming to Acolyte. And
that's
so,
the only thing other than Andor that I really want to see at Celebration. Like that's the Acolytes and what I want to know the most. I mean, we're getting Andor soon, so fine.
Yeah,
wait,
Acolyte may start filming during Celebration. Maybe. So
what panel will you hear that on? Like, it won't be part of the Mando panel. It has nothing to do with Mando.
What for Acolyte?
For Acolyte. What
I think if Acolyte begins filming, they may announce the principal cast at Celebration. Would be my guess. That's it though. You know what I mean?
No panel or anything, just a cast.
The general opening something.
You really can't say or show or do anything about it, but you can say who's in it, and it's something that they can do there as opposed to letting Illuminati announce it. or whoever,
they could,
you know,
at that Future of the Mandalorian, they could just say, hey, by the way, we got another show coming up, blah, 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 blah. I mean, but is there an opening ceremony to Celebration? Like,
well, see, that's the Mando past, present, and future thing is essentially Filoni and Favreau's panel. So that's where you may hear something about Ahsoka. That's where you may hear, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. They'll be like, oh, and there's another Mandalorian coming. What? In the Ahsoka series. What? And then they announced the fucking Sabine actor that we heard about a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you it goes like that. I'm being cynical, but probably. And Star Wars Santa says, anytime you need a dumb argument, Rob's right there for it. Ho, ho, ho.
It's the secret to my success.
But anyways,
I got here.
I hope everybody will come to the live stream event with me and Santa. And I think Meg's involved. I could be wrong, so I don't want to volunteer her for something that she's not involved. But next week. And the link is in the description to that stuff. And I'll promote it next week. I'll give more details too.
Since it's a Friday, you got any exciting news for us next week, Jason, or anything we can look forward to? Any scoops on the way?
Yeah, Qui-Gon has always been with you. Always.
Yeah. It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.